Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello, and welcome to Friday. Yes, it's the weekend. Yes, awesome. Hope you're all looking forward to a good weekend. Anyway, before we go for the weekend times, let's crack on with the next exciting issue of the DeAgostini Modelspace Build Your Own X-Wing partwork build-up. Today, we're looking at issue 65. Now, as always, before we get going, quick disclaimer, I am receiving this partwork free of charge and gratis from DeAgostini Modelspace. I'm not paying for this. All views expressed are my own. I still have the creative freedom to do that, but I am being provided this at no cost to myself. So thank you very much to DeAgostini. You guys are awesome. Today we're doing issue 65, and we're still looking at TIE fighters. Yeah, I think we did a lot of X-Wing stuff at the start, though, if I remember rightly, so it's only fair. It is the nemesis, the arch nemesis of the X-Wing is the TIE fighter. So today we're looking at Lego TIE fighters, and there's one of the original Lego TIE fighters from 1,000 million years ago, and that's just garbage. Look at that, it's just absolute garbage. Why has it got blue? Yeah, this was before the resurgence of Lego. This was when Lego was still kind of a bit pants and not doing very well. Then they got the Star Wars license and everything became fantastic. I don't know what year this was. Oh, 1999. 1999, you think they would have... Oh, I don't know. Anyway, yes, more Lego things. They got better and better every time, and then that's when they started introducing all the custom printed pieces and special bits for certain kits and things like that. But yeah, those originals, look at that. Oh, terrible. Awful. Imagine wanting to get a TIE fighter and you get this cruddy thing with blue all over it. It's like, what is this nonsense here? They got some custom printed bits, but like, no. Then we are on to the Starfighter Races section. Today we are talking about Hera Syndulla from Star Wars Rebels. I like Hera. Hera's cool. She's a great pilot and a great character. And appears in some other places outside of Rebels. You may have noticed her in some of the other films. But yeah, lots of stuff from Rebels. And again, as I've always said, Rebels is a really, really good series. Almost as good as Clone Wars, but not quite. But it's still fantastic. That is a cargo ship. There's the cockpit up there. I love that. Let's make a cargo ship and not give a crap about what it looks like. It doesn't need to be aerodynamic. But then you have to say, why not just make it square? If you've got something that big, you can get a lot more cargo because you've got less and less cargo as you get down to the bottom. And if you want the thing that's at the bottom, you're screwed. I need to get that thing from the bottom. Oh, it's all the way underneath everything else. Thanks, Mum. Yeah, some more stuff. And of course, the Ghost. Somebody needs to make a model of the Ghost that isn't rubbish. Please make a model of it. Bandai, please make a model of it. Or, hey, you know, DeAgostini do a partwork of the... Yes. Now we have a shot of inside of the TIE Fighter. The TIE Fighter. Hey, need more coffee. Hang on. Inside of the X-Wing and Gefahrten cockpit. Now, this is the inside based on that render they've been using for all the beauty shots. So I'm not convinced how accurate that actually is to all the panel placements. I don't think it is, but I've got lots of reference shots. I've got one or two anyway. But it gives you an idea. You see this light bit here, this is why I painted that other bit a different colour, because it's not supposed to be all black and dark grey. So there's the Graflex thing there. But yes, this doesn't actually match the real thing, because here there should be the little window where R2, the translation for R2 units, or for the astromech droid is. So it's a nice little cobbled together version, which is not actually strictly accurate. And then we're doing some rear cockpit bulkhead buildy, and then we've got a nice ass shot. Dat ass. It says engineering systems. We've missed out on beauty shots for the last few days. The bulky angular rear section of the fuselage. Steady now, she's a sensitive girl. Oh, you know, be nice. The bulky angular rear section of the fuselage carries the Starfighter's heavy engineering, including the power generator, shield generator, hyperdrive, the S-foil servos and actuators, plus the astromech droid socket and its interfaces. Yes. And you can see here the limitations of this model's 3D rendering and bitmap rastering, because you've got the texture there going side. Yeah, that's a bit limited. This makes me think this is an old render from something. I'm wondering if they were given access to some of the CGI models that were used in the 1990s remake movies, the prequel movies. I don't know, because this isn't quite modern day motion picture CGI level. The texturing, not quite. I mean, it would pass for, you know, early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. It'd be brilliant, but don't know. Texture issues there. And then on the back we have a picture of one of my favourite ships, the Ghost. Yeah, somebody need to make a decent model of that. Come on, Bandai, step up to the plate. Come on. If you don't do it, Revell's going to just poop one out, and then we'll all just have sadness. And it'll be in 1 to 7/16 of an eighth of an inch to a foot to a metre scale, or some nonsense that Revell comes out with. It's 1/57.5 scale. What? Revell, you idiots. Anyway, yes, let's crack on. Stop thinking about Revell. Think about the Ghost. Let's crack on. Okay, now, before we get going on probably our most challenging build part yet, trust me, we're going to use all our skills, I'm going to give you an update on what we did from the last episode. Remember we put the cockpit together, or the bit we built? Now, we had a few issues. That thing was sticking down. The bulb was sticking down there horribly, and these wires were very, very tight and didn't feel very secure, so I taped them in. I took it all apart again. Here's what I did. The bulb that goes in here, I basically just bent it back a little bit, so it's less visible. You can't quite see it there, and it's more neater and tidier away, but it also then gave us a bit more wire to play with here, so I was able to more easily get the wires around here. I've still taped them in place just to keep them secure, but they'll be fine. But I just pushed that back and it gives a little bit more room to play with. We also had some light leak here, where these two clear bits were. There was some light leaking through the solid plastic. I'll plug it in and I'll show you. I've cured it mostly, but not fully. But you can see now the light leak, hopefully it'll come out on camera, is a lot less significant than it was before. Now, the way I did that is very simple. I just got some black primer and I took the clear parts out, took these out, clear parts out, and just brushed the primer on the inside. Put the clear parts back in, bang, there you go. A couple of coats of primer or black paint. It was black primer, but black paint or black primer, anything like that, just enough to try and block some of the light. It's not perfect. And one thing I have noticed as well with these lights, they are a bit, I don't know, they just kind of, they fill out the nice middle bit here, but the rest of it is just kind of, yeah, not quite as bright. Now, when it comes to the finishing thing, and we do some painting in this, I might put some colours on these clear bits, take them apart and repaint them, or just paint them in situ. And these bits here are really supposed to be green, so I might look at maybe repainting these with a clear green colour, but we'll worry about that later. A couple of other things as well. What I didn't realise was, and I didn't show it on camera, I hadn't pushed this cockpit piece all the way home. There's 4 pegs, well, there's 4 posts, 2 there and 2 there. When I got it in, it felt fairly secure. But when I put the canopy cover on, or the canopy frame, and I can't do this on camera because it's fiddly to get on, hang on. When I put the canopy frame back on, just to put it away in storage again, if I can get this damn thing, it's actually quite, it's only 4 pegs and 4 holes, but it's quite fiddly to get in. What I noticed was it was sitting up like this. That rubber tubing was sticking up and fouling it, and it was like that. It was up here. I was like, that's rubbish. That's absolutely terrible. You have to really quite firmly push this home. It sits on top of the pegs sit on top of the holes, but you have to really push it down so that this drops down below the top of that bit there. And then your canopy frame will sit a bit better. Now, it doesn't sit fully there, but when you actually then put some screws, I tested it out with some XW02 screws, put some screws in here, it pulls that instrument panel down a bit more, and it helps it seat even better. It's never going to be perfect, but, you know, hey, if I was cunning, I could put some magnets. I could put like a magnet down there, and that would lock it in place. And I might still do that. I've got some tiny magnets, and for the sake of not being able to see it anyway, I can paint over it. So I might put some magnets in there, but we'll see. So just make sure, bend that light back, even though it doesn't say to you in the instructions, and push this down. Make sure, shine a torch under there and just look at the peg, because I looked under there and I saw there was the socket here and the peg was just sitting on top. So I pushed it down and it clinked into place. And this bit needs to line up down here. I don't know if you'll see it. This panel here needs to go all the way down to the bottom. It was up here somewhere, so it wasn't seated fully. So I didn't realise that at the time, but I know that now. So there you go. Just make sure it's pushed in all the way and make sure you bend that bulb back. You don't want to stress any of the wires unduly. So, I can't get this in again. 4 pegs, 4 holes, and I still get it wrong every time. How hard can it be? Come on, Fox. There we go. So, Yes, there we go. Right, I'll put that to one side now. We have the most challenging part of the project to date. This is the most challenging thing. We're going to command all our skills to do this. All of them. Every single skill and thing that we've learned so far on this project. So let's start. Let's corral. First of all, we'll police the screws. These are XW05s. I've not used many of them. Knife safety. XW05s. They'll go into the XW05 tray. Now, here's what we need to do. Knife away, DJ knife safety. First of all, I'm checking the instructions to make sure, which are underneath my cockpit, that's not good. First of all, you need this way, with these two recessed sockets here. Now, we take this piece. This is the back wall upon which all the canopy interior upper bits will go. We take this piece here, 2 pegs. I'm not even on camera, 2 pegs. See, it's told you it was challenging. 2 holes. What we do is push that in. Now, stay calm. Get yourself your driver of screws. And we need a XW05 screw. What we do is we put one of them here, like that. Not all the way, partly, just finger tight. We're going to balance it out. Then we get, next step, we get a XW05 screw. We put that one here. See? Yeah, not all the way. Now, we've got both the screws in, so now we can go in. We can tighten those up. There we go. Now be careful. It's very easy to accidentally put screws in these two as well. Don't do that. Not doing that yet. That's not happening. 2 screws. And with that, we have concluded issue 65. Bit of a short episode. Indeed, certainly it was. Not a lot to do, really. Didn't really test any of our skills. But that concludes the episode. And it concludes all the 15 issues that I got sent after everything got delayed because the world was on fire. So we're back to normal now. I've got a package that's turned up in the last few days. So I've got 5 more to film. But I might give it a week or so just to give you a break, and to give myself a break before I film those. So join me at some point in the coming weeks when we do issue 66 onwards. But that's going to do it for this 15 episode run. Thank you very much for watching all of them. I hope you didn't get bored with them every day. Don't forget, of course, if you'd like to pick up this part work yourself, I do recommend it. You can do at DeAgostini Modelspace's website. The link is in the description below the video. Go and check it out. And of course, I'd like to give a massive thank you to my patrons at patreon.com/modelmakingguru and my channel members who press the join button under any one of my videos for helping to support the channel. You can help me if you want by doing either of those things. It will be a massive, great help. Now, as promised, I've got to finish now because there's nothing else for me to do. I shall leave you with a good friend of mine who will impart to you some fine words of wisdom in a slightly creepy way. I hand it over to my very good friend, Uncle Weevy.
A cartoon character has known Naomi to dance in the jungle. He better not take power. People like us are having a good dream. The cartoon character may live from day to day, but he makes everything he does look peaceful. People like us are joking around. He frees her from troubled spirits. She doesn't even try to make jokes. He better run through an open door. Going bad can last forever. If the cartoon character wants to save himself a lot of trouble, he might try taking time for madness. He writes her a long letter, but she asks him not to wait. You and the Contessa get out of fun land. Doing some damage puts everything else on hold, but having so much to give shows the way. If you want to make the world a more hopeful place, you need to put it out of your mind. You are envious. If you want to live in a new reality, you need to make her some spaghetti. You have her over for soup. She feels you're lost. You and I walk through Computer City. What if I were to go bad? I may run like a robot, but I live free. Taking some spaghetti to the bad girls saves you a world of trouble. I may get lost, but I put on a show. A lost beauty runs around with Roscoe in Money Alley. She's about to do just enough. Men of power are making way for crows. Saving herself time and money puts him in power. The lost beauty is mindful. It looks as if he dances around. She may run herself down, but she takes control of our government. There's reason to believe Roscoe goes bad. In a really long book, it says to go mad. You and I come right through the jungle. Robots are running around with pinkness consultants. You may use policy to get your way, but you make a good point. You are too peaceful to make jokes about. Living free fills the time with light. Roscoe and I come through the cartoon. It's his turn to go dead inside. Going dead inside will be our little secret, but making it seem fun might at least be fun. If he wants to get back what he lost, he needs to do an about-face. Roscoe may make me lose my mind, but he takes one day at a time. The point is to go over the books. He writes me a long letter. I am cool to him.